I stood across the backyard, the late afternoon sun dipping low over the suburban rooftops of our quiet neighborhood outside Chicago. Watching my brother Brandon command attention from his weathered lawn chair like he owned the whole world on his 30th birthday. The string lights we'd strung up earlier cast a soft golden hue over everyone. But it felt fake. Like makeup covering bruises. Smoke from the barbecue grill blended with the sharp scent of burning logs in the fire pit. And about 20 relatives, cousins, aunts, uncles, laughed at some joke Brandon had just cracked. My glass of Merlot paused halfway to my lips when I spotted Zoe. My 12-year-old daughter. My entire universe packed into that small frame, walking straight toward him with a carefully wrapped box gripped tight in her trembling hands. She'd poured 6 months into that gift. Nights after homework, locked in her room, fingers stained with fabric paint and markers. She wouldn't let me peek at the finished product. It has to be perfect, Mom. A real surprise for Uncle Brandon. I knew every detail because I'd caught glimpses, vibrant airbrush designs of his favorite classic muscle cars roaring across the back, flowing music notes from his beloved rock bands curling around the sleeves, embroidered patches of band logos and chrome details that shimmered just right. Hours of love stitched into every inch of that custom hoodie. The kind of thoughtful present a kid saves allowance and skips playdates to create. Uncle Brandon, Zoe whispered, her voice barely cutting through the crackle of the fire and chatter. I made this just for you, Brandon. Already 3 beers deep and slouching like gravity had given up on him, snatched the box without even glancing her way. He ripped the paper like it was nothing, laughing with his buddies. When he pulled out the hoodie and held it up for maybe 3 seconds, my chest swelled with pride. It was stunning, professional-looking even. The kind of piece you'd see in a boutique. What is this cheap garbage? His sneer sliced the air like a knife. Did you dig this out of some thrift store dumpster? The yard fell dead silent. Even the fire seemed to hush. Zoe's voice cracked. I painted it. All by myself. It took me forever. Brandon didn't hesitate. He balled it up and hurled the hoodie in a perfect arc straight into the roaring fire pit. Flames leaped up instantly, greedy and orange, swallowing 6 months of my daughter's heart in seconds. Zoe screamed a raw, piercing sound that cut through me and lunged forward. I was already moving, heart hammering, but she was closer. Her small hand plunged toward the pit, fingers grazing the hot metal rim as she tried desperately to yank it out. The sizzle of skin hitting heat turned my stomach. She jerked back, cradling her forearm, the smell of burned flesh hitting me like a punch. Blisters rose fast on angry red skin that would scar for life. She wasn't sobbing from the pain yet. It was watching her creation curl to black ash that broke her. God. Always so dramatic, Brandon muttered, rolling his eyes and reaching for another beer. I dropped to my knees beside Zoe, pulling her close. Baby, I've got you. Her tears soaked my shirt. Lorraine, my mother, queen of guilt trips in her fresh blouse I'd paid for last month, strode over with my father Harold trailing. Zoe. Honey, stop making a scene. It's your uncle's birthday. I looked up at them. Really looked. At Lorraine, avoiding real eye contact. At Harold staring at the grass. Memories flooded. Me at 8. Handing over my new bike to 5-year-old Brandon because family shares. That pattern never stopped. My job as senior data analyst at Quantum Insights paid $148,000 a year. $1,800 monthly went to my parents' rent, $500 to utilities. Then Brandon's disasters, the vape lounge flop, the failed app startup, the short-lived food delivery scheme, over $62,000 in 3 years. Bank statements etched in my mind. I'd been their endless safety net. But now Zoe's arm was blistering, and no one in that yard moved to help. They shifted uncomfortably, whispering, I set my wine glass down deliberately. We're leaving. Lorraine's warning tone hit. Rachel, you're overreacting. She's fine. I scooped Zoe up. She was small for 12, and she buried her face in my shoulder. Harold spoke finally. Don't embarrass the family. I met their eyes. All 20 relatives who did nothing. Keys in pocket. One-handed while holding her.
Mom.
It hurt so bad, Zoe whimpered. I know. Sweetheart. Hospital now. Brandon laughed from his chair. She barely touched it. Stop being sensitive. Something inside me, bent for 41 years, clicked shut like a vault locking. No more words. I crossed the yard. Keys jangling. Zoe sobbing softly. Lorraine called after me about ruining the party. Being selfish. I loaded Zoe into my Honda CR-V. Elevated her arm with a sweater. Whispered, we're going to be okay. Backing out. I saw them. Lorraine arms crossed. Harold at his shoes. Brandon grabbing another drink. Not one followed. The ER lights were harsh, exposing every detail, the blotchy tears on Zoe's face. The angry burn. Dried blood on my collar.
Dr. Patel.
Calm and graying. Examined gently. 2nd degree. For inches along the inner forearm. Zoe spoke first. My uncle threw my art project in the fire. I tried to save it.
Dr.
Patel's jaw tightened. He sat eye level. I'm a mandatory reporter. Child endangerment from reckless adult behavior means contacting CPS and police. My stomach dropped. But Zoe gripped my hand. Notifications exploded. Family group chat buzzing. I opened it. Guilt trips. Demands to return. Brandon claiming joke. Harold's text crystallized it. Apologize to your brother for overreacting.
Dr.
Patel wrapped Zoe's arm in white gauze while explaining care. Keep dry. Watch infection. Pain meds kicking in. My fingers moved on autopilot. Opening banking app. Transactions lined up like evidence. Brandon's vape shop $18,000. App, scheme $9,500. Delivery venture $15,000. Parents monthly $2,300 clockwork. Total $62,000 undeniable. I screenshot every one. Emailed to my private account. Then the family chat. I attached pay stub. Calculations. Typed the ATM is closed. Police are coming. You're on your own. Blue checks appeared. I scrolled 3 years of manipulations. Muted. Blocked Lorraine. Harold. Brandon. Zoe squeezed my hand.
Mom.
What did you do? What I should have years ago. Knock at door, Sandra from CPS. Officer Ramirez behind. I told everything chronologically. Party.
Gift.
Throw. Lunge. Burn. Family's dismissal. Sandra's face stayed neutral. Eyes on the bandage. We'll speak with your brother. Good luck, I said flatly. Voicemail from unknown. Lorraine borrowing phone. This tantrum tears the family. Forgive mistakes. We sacrificed for you. I saved it. Sandra noted everything. Zoe's eyes heavy. Can we go home? Yes. Baby. Our home. Sunday morning. Kitchen quiet except Zoe shifting restlessly. Unknown call, Harold. Brandon's in jail. Need $5,000 bail. Lorraine sobbing theatrically in background. Your mother is falling apart. Entitlement thick. I hung up. Doorbell camera, thumb on porch. Lorraine crying for neighbors. Harold trying knob. Mrs. Gonzalez next door called police. They left, dignified. Victims in their minds. Text later. You did this. We'll be homeless. Zoe pushed eggs at breakfast. Flinched at stove click. Therapy appointment booked with Dr. Ellis. Tuesday. Zoe emerged red-eyed, but scheduled weekly. Did I mess up with the hoodie? Nothing wrong. Baby. Broken people break things. Not your fault. Art supplies untouched in her room. Aunt Carla called from Florida. Rehearsed speech about family sacrifice. I hung up. Wednesday. Attorney Jennifer Ruiz took pro bono, filing restraining order against whole family. Pattern of harassment. I froze credit reports. Installed security system Friday, cameras, sensors. Panic button. Work call. Promotion to director. $175,000. That night. Zoe nightmare about fire. I held her. Safe now. Security alert at 4 a.m. Brandon approaching garage with metal tool. Smiling at camera. I called 911. Screenshots. Sirens scared him off. Morning after. Police report filed. Footage evidence. Zoe ate cereal quietly. Scar angry pink. Restraining order processing. Towed the Bronco I bought for Brandon, title mine. $23,000, using towing contact. He voicemail raged. My truck. Jennifer replied coldly. Property disposal rights. Zoe talked art class again. Dinner together. No crises. 2 a.m. alert. Brandon drunk on porch. Pounding. Slurring threats. Open up. Burn this house down with you in it. Zoe hid in closet, reliving trauma. Recorded audio. 911. Officers tackled him on lawn. Terroristic threats. Bail violation. Jennifer. Plea likely 18 months. Additional charges filed. Donate Bronco to vocational school, students smiling in photos. Tax receipt. Domestic violence shelter offered resources. Voicemail Lorraine. Eviction in days. Were your parents?
Saved. Blocked.
Storage unit auction call. Abandoned household items. Auction it. Extended family questions. But truth spreading. Arrests. Eviction. Emergency hearing prep. Evidence folder 47 items. Videos. Reports. Threats. Email with veiled identity theft. Courtrooms smelled of polish. Judge Williams reviewed packet. Party video. Burned photos. Voicemails. Threatening email. Brandon on video from jail. Entitled shrug. Drunk talk. Judge. People say what they mean drunk. Ruled 5-year comprehensive restraining order. No contact. 500-foot distance. Parents enabled. Pattern clear. Gavel cracked. Jennifer. Plea accepted. Fraud alerts placed. Documents updated excluding family. Zoe's art therapy progressed. I set $2,300 monthly to her college fund. 6 months later. Kitchen filled with Zoe and friends flipping pancakes. Scar faded but reminder. No flinch at stove. Mrs. Gonzalez brought strawberries. Chosen family dinners monthly. Envelope from Lorraine. Guilt. Hardship story. No apology. Burned in fireplace. Release not rescue. Youth gallery. Zoe's phoenix rising, painted denim piece emerging from flames. Confident explanation. Prison collect call declined.
Blocked.
Back deck journal under fairy lights. From ATM to mother. Freedom is peace. Zoe grinned at entry. We never needed them. Have you ever chosen your child's safety over family ties? Sometimes love means letting go completely. What would you do when the people who should protect you become the threat?